Hey guys, the time is here. This is the official 2 weeks in the bottle review for the Great Bay IPA. We used Fuggles, Hallow Magnum hops, along with East Kent Goldings. We are coming in at 7%, and not much of a pop on this one. But I've noticed that when you bottle, you get different carbonations. So we'll see. Smelling the grapefruit, a grapefruity IPA smell. We have that nice reddish copper color, which looks exactly similar to like Sierra Nevada's Torpedo. And this is not a Torpedo clone, obviously, but it still came in around the same percent, which is 7%. And that one has more of a pungent bite to it, very more bitter, and it has more of that grapefruit flavor right off the bat. This is subtle. Yeah. And of course it's not as clear as Sierra Nevada either, but it has that same color. Not much in the head department. I have been drinking this, and it depends on the glass and also I guess the bottle itself. And several of them I've had big heads. I have 2 to 3 to 4 finger heads on some of the bottles. So, but this one is actually dissipating, and it's rather cold. It's frosting the glass up. It really should be a little bit more warmer for an English style IPA. Cheers. But it's good. You have 1 or 2 of these, and you're done for the night. And what I've noticed, I've always, like, my go-to yeast has been for English style beers has been the Nottingham. And I've noticed that with the Nottingham, I'm not smelling it in this bottle, but it has an interesting note. And I've noticed that with the last several brews that I've been using with that yeast, it has the same note. Okay, so if you're worried about, like, if you're doing a certain style of beer, the yeast is what makes the beer, and you're always going to get that certain quality. That's why, like I always say, when I taste anything from Samuel Smith's brewery, the yeast, whatever yeast they're using with their open fermentation and in their Yorkshire squares and all that, it has a unique flavor. And that flavor is mostly all their beers, and it's from the yeast. And I'm picking that up now that I've been brewing for like the last 5 years now. When you use a certain yeast, like if I used SO4 for this, it would taste a lot different. If I would use USO5, made an English or an American IPA out of this, it would taste a lot different too. And again, it's like, okay, I like it, but it has that unique quality to it, that I've come to notice. So if I would brew the same ingredients, exact same setup, exact same hops, but just added a different yeast, it would definitely be different. Better or worse, who knows? I don't know. I would have to do this and then use an American ale yeast and see for experimental purposes if I wanted to. I like it, but like I said, the English ale yeast, depending on the temperatures, it gives you that fruity flavor, or it may be more cleaner. It's hard in the summertime to brew with English ale yeast and keep that temperature a constant 68. That's why I noticed that when I do my the next time I do my Innsmouth Porter, I'm definitely going to try and do it in the winter months, to where I'm not the type of person where you only drink dark beers in the fall and winter, but I drink them all year long. But I do find it, you're going to get a different flavor from the yeast if they're overstressed, if it's too warm, if it's at 75, compared to if you were to keep it at 60 to 68 degrees, So but it's a win. I love it. Like I said, for as an IPA, it's more lighter on the hops, obviously. But I didn't want to be spending, making, spend $90 on a beer. You know, the more ingredients, the more hops you add, the more money. You know. So that being said, I'm trying to think. The next beer that's coming up on deck is the pumpkin ale, and I'm going to do that in the next couple weeks, so that it'll ferment and be ready to go for bottling, and then drinking during the month of October into November. Okay, so that's what's next on deck, and then after that, I'm going to do before I get into my IPA, my porter and stout. Excuse me. I'm going to do. I'm thinking a nut brown ale, or like a brown ale, brewed from the Bible, and just see, because I've never done one. I may have bought a kit years ago, never filmed, but I may have bought something when I was back before Northern Brewer was taken over by Anheuser-Busch, because now I boycott them, obviously, and I just shop local anyway now that I have a homebrew shop. But I think I might have did a brown ale from them, a nut brown ale. But so I'm gonna try and do that next. And again, I don't know what English ale yeast I'm gonna use with that. The last beer I did was a Yorkshire bitter, and that had used. I actually used Yorkshire. Big crow just flew over. With the Yorkshire bitter, I was able to acquire from my homebrew shop. He did a starter and had some fresh Yorkshire ale yeast, and so it's like I'd like to do that beer again. That beer came out pretty good, but it's like I don't know if I could acquire that yeast again. And then if I go back to Nottingham, I'm going to have this flavor in here that Nottingham is leaving in all my beers. Either the red ale I did, the Irish red ale, the Cooper's dark ale. Even though that is like so strong with, I don't know what happened with that over fermentation explosion that we had. It has some off flavors in there, like I said, like a sherry type flavoring going on in there. I mean, which isn't bad, but it reminds me like it has that old ale taste to it. So it's like you're chewing on it. It's like by the time you're down here to the end of that glass, and like I said, that's 7% too. It's like you're done. You're like so full. Your stomach's like, oh, I can't take any more. So it's not a session beer. I only got like 1 or 2 bottles left anyway of that. I do have one on the shelf, I think. I want to age and see what happens. I haven't had, beer doesn't sit around here too long, so I haven't been able to age a beer. I mean, like I said, it's homebrew, and you're sanitate. I mean, you're going to lose flavor, especially with the IPA. You got to drink fresh. This I'm not even going to sit up. I'm not even going to hold on to a bottle of this, because if you say you hold on to it for 5 months, it's not going to have the flavors are going to be gone. But I've just been drinking this, what's left of that dark ale, and I keep buying the Sierra Nevada Torpedoes because I'm on that kick now, the IPA kick, since I did this. But yeah, side-by-side comparison with this, I mean, it's the same color, but they're in a world of their own with the hops. I mean, you're talking super bitter on the taste, and just way a little like pungent with the grapefruit flavor and the smell and everything else. Got flies coming around here, jeez. But yeah, see, sometimes when you smell the bottle, it has like a sweet. I don't know how to describe it. It's just I smell it in the bottles. I don't really smell it on the nose here, but it's there on the taste. I know that I used a Nottingham yeast. It's weird. I'm not into. I tried it once or twice. Like I said, with the yeast, like reusing the yeast. I know Craig Tube is big on that, reusing the yeast, and but I can't brew fast enough. even if I do have the bottles, it's I can't brew fast enough to salvage yeast because I mean, you know, you put it in your jar and you have to brew within a couple of days before that yeast goes rancid, right? I mean, I know it would save money on yeast, but it's just like when you only pay like what is it, anywhere between $3 and $5 for the yeast. I forget what I pay, but say it's $5 for the yeast. It's just it's the same. You're using the same yeast. I'm not, and the thing is, I'm getting the same flavor with that Nottingham yeast beer to beer to beer. That I know that you know. I mean, I would like to do a house yeast, sure, but I want to be able to drink the beer fast enough in order to, you know, get the bottles out. And if I were to do a kegging system, that would be requiring more money and, I mean, I don't know, but still, with 5 gallons of beer in a keg, I mean, I don't think I would drink it fast enough to brew another batch, you know? Even with 2 kegs, you know, it's just like having my extra bottles. I could do 2 batches back to back, sure, within a week or two of each other, and then bottle them. And then you're still waiting, you know, with the bottling, you're waiting for the carbonation. I get it with the kegs, you keg right away, and you know, you can drink within a couple of hours, you know, but I don't have the room for a kegerator to keep the keg cold, right? In my garage, in the summertime is hot, in the wintertime is good. It's cold out there, but nowhere to where, you know, especially in the summer months, would I be able to have a keg. There's no fridge. I have a fridge out there, a regular size fridge, where I keep all my extra food and stuff in. So there's no room for a keg. So bottling is the way to go for me. And I know a lot of people say once you go kegging, you never go back. But I mean, I just I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I clean them. You know, I mean, every once in a while they have always they get a little gunk around here that just sits around. I bottle wand it. I mean, this hasn't been coming out, but I haven't had any infections with the beer with this scum or you know yeast cake thing that keeps building up around here. I just bleach or whatever and sanitize, and then I haven't had any issues with it. You know, with anything. I may get some OxyClean and see if I just soak it in some OxyClean and see if that comes out. Let them soak overnight with the OxyClean just sitting in there. Or, you know, I could always also go to the homebrew shop and get some PBW. It's the same thing. But, you know, I heard, you know, a lot of people use that OxyClean. So I might just give that a go and try to get some of that scum out. Alright, I know this has gotten long-winded, but that's what happens when you have a brew. So, but this will be my video for the week, I guess, because kids are going back to school and it's going to be hectic. I don't even know if I'll be able to make videos during the week because the kids are all going virtual, and that means they'll be stuck in front of computers, making sure they're on the computers, you know, with the teachers live every couple hours or whatever the hell it is. It's going to be crazy. So, excuse me, once again. And until we do it again, my friends, remember, let's set sail.